Hey guys, it's Evan here from Guelph Volkswagen. Today we're going to look at the all-new 2019 GLI. This is a long-anticipated vehicle and we're super excited to finally have it here. So first we're going to get strapped in, turn it on, take it for a drive around the block a little bit, and then I'm going to stop, we'll get out and we'll go over some of the specifications, some of the details, some of the cool things about the vehicle, and overall just our first impressions. So let's get going here, guys. So we're going to go along Woodlawn here and just go with some traffic here, your normal drive to work in the morning, and then we'll get on some country roads and ramp it up a little bit and really get a feel for the not only the acceleration, but I'm going to try to take some corners and see what it really feels around bumps and bruises and corners and some potholes, and we'll see how it handles. So just I'm doing, what am I doing, 70 kilometers an hour here. It's just about to turn into a 90. So what I'm going to do is use the shifter, downshift a gear or two, and then really give it some guts here. So let's just make sure we don't have anyone in our rearview mirror, and drop a gear. We're in fifth. Let's go down to fourth. We slow down here a little bit. So we're in third gear, doing about 50 kilometers an hour, and let's make a pull. That feels awesome. So beautiful, quick car, lots of torque, lots of low-end torque, which is a big factor. If you get into different vehicles, you'll feel that, you know, sometimes you have to, you get ramping up, the RPMs will keep going up, you'll get faster and faster, and then you finally kind of feel that power and that torque kick in once you're at 4,000 RPM. This vehicle, I just started off 50 kilometers an hour in third gear. I went all the way from about 2,000 RPM all the way up to about 5,000 RPM in third gear. And had a consistent power band all the way through. So that feels really great. And for somebody who just likes to, I'm not saying be, you know, a race car driver taking it to the track, although you could, and it'd be very, very fun. Just that daily drive, just for somebody who wants a little more athletic performance drive, this is really nice for that. So you don't have to be too concerned about playing around too much. Drop a gear, see you later, and have a little bit of fun, especially on these country roads outside of Guelph here. So I'm gonna make a right-hand turn coming up here. I'm gonna hopefully try to catch a green light, and so I can take this corner at some speed, but it doesn't look like I'm going to luck out here. So we'll take a right. Nice thing too, what I noticed too, is that when you go into manual mode and you're in the paddle shifters, if you kind of forget about it and you don't use the gear, the paddles to shift gears at all, it'll actually go right back into drive mode for you, and really help you out. You don't have to worry about it, which is another beauty of the automatic transmission. That is just so smooth. So I just made a nice corner doing about 20-25 kilometers an hour, accelerated through, and it feels great. It sounds really nice, and handles the corners nice and tight as expected. Our normal Jetta was designed very similar, obviously same chassis, same body, everything. This has the upgraded suspension, limited slip differential is standard. That's just the beginning of the specifications on it. First, we have the powertrain out of our GTI, which has been around for 40 plus years. This GLI and the first 2,500 in Canada will actually be the 35th anniversary edition GLI. So it's a little nicer, has your leather, has your sunroof, blacked out roof, blacked out mirror caps. Just stunning vehicle. We really, really like it at the dealership here, and we're really happy about it. So the first 2,500 will be the 35th anniversary edition, kind of the higher end model. And then as time goes on, once we get all those out to our dealers, then we'll be getting the other trim levels as well. So you can get, of course, the base model, and the nice thing with the GLIs and the GTIs is that all the performance is going to be the same. So you're going to get the same transmission options, the same engine, the same suspension, limited slip differential. All these things are going to be the same, but you don't have to, if you don't want to, you don't have to pay for the leather and the sunroof and all these extras, right? So you can get the more base model. It's going to bring down your budget, your payments a little bit lower, which is always a good thing for a lot of people. So while we're stopped here, I'm just kind of playing around with the digital display here in front of me. It's our digital cluster. It's 10.3 inches if I'm not mistaken, and super nice. You can really change around what you want to look at, what you want to see, what's important to you. Again, if we're doing a little more aggressive driving, you might want something that has your gears, your direction of travel, things like that, whatever it may be. A little more relaxed, you might want your navigation and your range or your economy. don't forget, this is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. Although it has 258 foot-pounds of torque, which is a ton of torque for this class of vehicle, you can still drive it like in an economy car and still get that great efficiency out of it. I mean, with my last vehicle, I've driven from Guelph up to Owen Sound, some country driving, 90, 100 kilometers an hour on average. And I averaged one trip, I was 5.9, 6 liters per 100 kilometers. That's, again, similar engine, actually less power, but very similar economy numbers. So, you don't have to really sacrifice your mileage, your economy, things like that for performance with this vehicle, which I find is a huge thing. So we're just going to pull into a parking lot here. I'm going to go over some more details of the vehicle and be with you in a second. Okay guys, now that we're outside, I want to take a look at some of the performance specifications. Of course, like I said, the engine is a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. It is a beast of an engine. I've had it around for a long time. This is the newest variation of it, right out of our GTI. So really, if you're looking for a GTI performance but want a little bit more rear legroom and want a trunk, this is the car for you. So it has 258 foot-pounds of torque, 228 horsepower, so definitely tons of power to put down on the road for you, and very, very powerful and athletic for this size of vehicle, which is a big plus. We also have transmission options, standard 6-speed manual transmission. We also have the optional 7-speed DSG automatic transmission, the paddle shifters, the Triptronic. It's awesome transmission, gives you a lot of fun if you're not fully wanting to go with the full manual transmission. Of course, everyone has families and stuff, and everyone wants some comfort and be able to pick up their coffee in the morning on the way to work, and the DSG is awesome for that. Also, number 3, limited slip differential is standard now. So again, that came from our Golf Rs or GTIs. That's now in the GLI. Limited differential. It's electronic. It's controlled by milliseconds, and it will really help you out in terms of driving aggressively. In the summertime, you're going to lose less traction on the road on tarmac, and then even more so in the wintertime, it's going to help you with that as well in terms of slippage, trying to gain as much traction, getting as much plant down as possible to move you ahead. So engine, transmission, differential. Number 4 is going to be your suspension. It's big this year, big difference from before. So although you're gonna have your sport suspension, it's just under half an inch lower than a normal Jetta. So it's obviously a little more planted, bigger wheels and stuff. The looks are there, but really the bread and butter of it is now the higher end trim levels here also have the electronic dampening suspension. So that's a big key feature for this year, is that you're going to have your normal source suspension in the base model, and then when you go up to the upgrade to the 35th anniversary edition, for instance, you're going to get that dampening suspension. It's electronically controlled. You're in comfort mode, you're in normal mode. It's going to be a little softer, give you a little bit more forgiveness around the potholes, the bumps, and the bruises and stuff like that. And then when you put it in sport mode, it's really going to stiffen up for you, really give you a lot of traction, a lot more confidence when you're going around corners and driving a little more aggressively. So that's the 4 main big things mechanically that make this vehicle different from your normal Jetta. So again, your normal Jetta is 1.4 turbocharged TSI engine. Great engine, very, very economical. Definitely good power for the size of vehicle. This 2-liter turbo is just a big step up, so it's definitely worthwhile. If you're looking for a Jetta, you like this type of vehicle but want something a little sportier, then this is a really big upside for you, and I definitely would recommend checking out the GLI because you will be very, very happy with it. So I'm going to pick up the camera in a second. We're going to do a quick walk around the vehicle, show you a couple of the key features that make this different than not only the Jetta different than the GLI, but the GLI different from the 35th anniversary edition GLI. And we'll show you a couple of key features on the outside, and then we're going to show you the inside and show you some of the cool features that the inside has to offer. So the overall view of this vehicle is just stunning. I love the white. This is the pure white paint. Because of all the black and the red accents, the white really pops and gives you a lot of nice contrast. Of course, we have our LED projector headlights. Those are adaptive. Our GLI logo in the front, and our red stripe through the grille. Now these are, again, specific to the 35th anniversary edition. They're 18-inch wheels. They're painted gray metallic with your red stripe throughout. Again, specific to this 35th anniversary edition is our gloss black roof. That's going to be a little different from the normal one. The normal one's going to have your painted roof to match the rest of the car. This one is going to have your gloss black. Now that gloss black picks up on the mirror caps as well as this little spoiler here, which is a nice touch. 35th anniversary edition special badging as well. Now, one thing I always love pointing out about our Volkswagen vehicles, and not every vehicle has this, but all the 2 liters do. And one thing I absolutely loved when I owned my 2012 GLI was that the oil filter is on top of the engine. So for somebody like myself who likes doing my own oil changes, a little more mechanically inclined, who likes to do a little bit of maintenance and work on their own vehicles, it's the fact that I loved. So if you look on the left of the vehicle here, we have our fill cap, our dipstick, both yellow, and our oil filter. So this is actually covered. There's actually a cartridge filter inside that Volkswagen uses now. So of course, Guelph Volkswagen is more than happy to do all your servicing for you. We definitely recommend it while you're in warranty, especially. But for somebody who likes doing their own oil change, I think it's a big advantage there, and just really nice. It makes it super simple. Get into the vehicle, let the drain plug out, drain the oil, do it back up, and the rest of the work's on top of the engine right there. So super simple, super easy, and the same thing for the rest of the engine. I mean, I've done spark plugs, I've done injectors, I've done quite a few things in my vehicles in terms of maintenance over the years, and there's a lot of things hidden under this cover here that are super easy to access, really not intimidating to work on the basic maintenance tune-ups that everyone kind of gets concerned with when buying a new vehicle. So don't be too concerned. Obviously, a lot of our vehicles are controlled by computers and have a lot of sensors, but the mechanical portion of it hasn't changed in a very long time. It's still an internal combustion engine, and it's really not too hard. So another big feature there is the oil filter on top of the engine. Now, something else I love to point out is that we still have a massive trunk in our Jettas. So our previous outgoing model was class sitting trunk size. This is the exact same. It's a huge comparison. We've done a lot of training and comparisons against our competitors of the normal Jetta. Now the GLI really doesn't have too many competitors, but again, same body, same chassis and everything, so you're still going to get all the advantages of the normal Jetta and having a big back seat, class sitting rear legroom and trunk space, and a lot of benefits there. So again, always hard to see into a trunk because it's always black, but it is massive. Definitely more than happy to fit all your hockey bags, your camping gear, whatever it may be, and get you on the road with all your gear, and happy times for the weekend, right? Now, one of the things I love about this new GLI is the interior. Again, this vehicle is only redesigned for 2019, and it's stunning, but not just the outside, the inside is also really cool too. So the GLI gets its specific own steering wheel, and it is beautiful. We still got the tape on for the next for the new owner of this vehicle. So the GLI specific steering wheel with the honeycomb center, just stunning. You've got, almost skipped over it, a 10.3-inch digital cluster. Is absolutely like super cool, really customizable. We'll go through that in a second. Your really nice big infotainment system, and then all your climate controls, shifter, push button start, all that cool stuff. So one of the cool key features about the GLI is, of course, the red stitching, kind of those red accents. So you can see the red stitching along the side of the seat here, all nice perforated seats. You also have a really cool GLI 35th anniversary edition badging on the seat here too. And your red stitching throughout, and it's just a really nice look. So I'll start the vehicle here in a second, and we'll get a look at the digital cluster, as well as play around with some features here, and give you a good look here. So let's start it up. So you've got quite a few different views here. So this digital cluster really is really nice in terms of allowing you to customize a vehicle. So this has our map in the center, some information left and right side. You can click view. That's going to change it to the big dial, so what most people are used to with the RPM on the left and the speed on the right side. And then we can click view again, and that's going to bring it right down, and you're going to give you a full 10.3-inch display of just navigation or whatever you like. So you can change it to your music, your telephone, vehicle status, range. Now it's at 0, so we should probably be a little careful now. Adaptive cruise control and assist systems. You can really go through all your options, really select what you want, and just makes it a heck of a lot easier when you're driving down the road. and doing what you want to do. So not only that, but you can actually get to customize in between that as well. So in the circles here in between the RPMs and the speed, you can also customize what you want to see there too. So if you go over to your settings here, and you go to menu, vehicle, settings, and now you can go to, let me just find it where it is here, instrument cluster. Now you go to in here. So what this is, it's really cool. So this is auto. So it's going to be acceleration, travel time. You can go to classic. That's going to be what gear you're in, your speed, and view 1, view 2, view 3. So what that's going to give you is, well, hey, wait a second. Now I can actually change these. So I can actually change from economy to, oh, there we go. And actually change these travel time, assist system. Well, you know what? I want assist systems, and I would also like, let's see, acceleration, no. Let's do audio. So now we have that right here. Now that's been transferred, audio and assist systems. Now if you look back to the main screen here, you can see in the center, your assist systems, that's actually your picture for adaptive cruise control. And on the right side there, you have your picture for your audio. So fully customizable. Again, we have everything in red right now. Another cool thing is you can actually change the interior color. So right now everything's red to kind of match the GLI and give you a cool look. But we can also go into settings. Scroll up to ambient lighting. Now we don't want the reds, maybe we want yellow. So now all our lines in the system have turned yellow. That's also going to control your light under here and just above your wireless charging station. What else here? Blue, pink. Pink's cool. So really customizable, really gives you, you know, what you want. And you can also change things in between. So of course we have our lighting here, 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 everywhere. You can change what lighting you want where, what colors. So super customizable. Again, this is all in the 2019 GLI, and we're super happy with it. So I'm gonna go for another quick drive here, give a good feel of the vehicle, do some more acceleration around corners and stuff like that, give you a good overall view of the vehicle. But that's a lot for the inside right now, and we'll get back on the road, and we'll finish back at the dealership. All right, let's put it in drive. I'm actually going to play around with the mode button. That's going to give us our Eco, Comfort, Normal, Sport, and Custom mode. And so why not? We're in the GLI on a review. Let's put it into Sport mode, because why not? Let's have some fun. Sport mode is going to stiffen up the suspension, stiffen up your steering, change your shift points in automatic mode. Yeah, it just makes the car, if it was already 10, now it's 11 or 12. And so, as well as actually pumps in a little bit more engine noise into the cabin too. So let's take off here and get back on the road. It looks like I have 0 kilometers till empty. So if I'm trusting enough, we should be able to make it a few trips around the block and back to the dealership before running out of gas. And if not, it'll make for a good blooper reel for the video. All right, let's take off here. That is fun. That is a lot of fun. I'm gonna slow down here again. That was fast enough, we'll say. Now that was just in sport mode, not using paddle shifters or anything like that. Again, you can really use it, you know, put as much input and control into this vehicle as you want. But in terms of driving, you know, position, comfort, I'm on the definitely the bigger end of the spectrum. I'm about 6'7", definitely a bigger guy. And one thing I always liked about my old Jetta and GLI was that it fit me and I was comfortable. And there's no change here, so you have a lot of space, a lot of comfort, a very good driving position. Now I have the seat, the bottom rail all the way back because I've got really long legs, but again, that doesn't hinder my driving experience in terms of having the hands on the steering wheel and being able to control the vehicle safely and comfortably for long drives. So it's open up our sunroof here. Nice beautiful day, spring day here in Guelph. But just cruise along. I mean, again, you can feel that little bit more stiffness in the suspension. It just feels so planted, so heavy, so solid. And that's the big difference between not just the Jetta is very planted and solid as well, but that's the big difference between our Volkswagens and especially the GLI compared to other brands and other models and things like that from other manufacturers, because it's just so hard to compare with. I mean, you close one of our doors, it feels solid, it feels it's a thud. And driving's no different. So when you take off, you take it around a corner, you brake, you get those bumps. It's a great feeling, and you feel like you're in a much more expensive vehicle. So I'm just coming to a light here. I'm going to use the paddle shifts a little bit here, so I'm going to downshift. I went from 5th, now I went in 4th. Now it's going to give you an M4, so whatever gear you're in, it's going to give you M for manual, and then what gear you're in. And it's going to give you, again, like I said, more control, but also give you allow you to know what gear you're in, and really full control here. So again, we're slowing down a little bit, so I'm going to put it into 3rd gear. RPM spiked up to about 3,000 RPM. Now I'm in perfect range. If I want to hit the gas and do a little pull away, I can, no problem. Boom, shift back up to 4th gear, drop the RPMs back to 3,000 RPM, shift up again, now into 5th, and I'm just sitting about 2,000 RPM. I'm still not in 6th or 7th gear. I still have 2 more gears to go, and so that really gives you a good idea. I'm doing about 92 kilometers an hour, 5th gear, 2,000 RPM, 2,200 RPM. So great range there in terms of accelerating, be able to get up to a top speed, merge on the highway, things like that, and have some fun with it. I still had 2 more gears to go, so I had a lot of room to move there, which is really nice, because the last generation GLI or GTI only had 6-speed, which wasn't, that's pretty standard. But now with the 7-speed, it really gives you that extra bit of room, and you don't have to be too concerned about where you're topping out at in terms of your what gear you're in and what transmission. So we're gonna make a left-hand turn here. Now we're just north of Guelph here. This is a kind of a notoriously bumpier road here. I like taking people on this test route because it allows us to feel a lot more bumps and really get a good test of the vehicle. It's not just so pretty bumpy road. It's not great. Am I uncomfortable? Absolutely not. Do I feel that little more rigidity in the suspension? For sure. And to be honest, I'm happy with that. I like that. I'm a fan, and I think anybody who's interested in buying this car is going to be a fan of that as well, because realistically, you're buying this car for, to be well-rounded, but definitely the performance factors. So I'm just pulled over here. I'm going to wait till there's a bit of a break in the traffic so I can go around this corner. I was just behind a dump truck, so that's usually not too much fun. And they're certainly not going too fast around corners, so we'll wait till this few vehicles are passed here, and then we'll go for a drive again. Okay, guys, we're just going to take some fun corners here. So I just put it into sport mode, and I'm going to accelerate into the corner here. Go through. Sorry, that was just my tripod falling over there. Accelerate out of the corner. It's a pretty bumpy road too, and it just feels so stable. To be honest, it feels great. So this one's a little tighter, and we'll come through. Well, I gotta say that felt great. Accelerated in, braked, went through the corner, accelerated back out of the corner, and felt great. That's a pretty bumpy section there too. So it's 3 tight corners, left, right, left, and sorry, right, left, right, and it felt really good. So again, no slippage from the differential, no slippage or squeaks or anything going around those bumps through the corners. I'm happy. I can't really say too many bad things about it. I loved mine, love the new one. I'd recommend it. I think it's great value for the money. I think you get a lot of vehicle for the money, and when you're comparing this vehicle to the GTI, the GTI is a little bit different. I think you have some upsides with the GTI as well. But for the GLI, I mean, you really can't go wrong. It gives you a little bit more space, rear leg room, and just a lot of benefits that you don't get from really any other vehicle in the market. So I'm just pulling it back to the lot here. I did not run out of gas, always a plus. No blooper reel today, I guess. And I'm gonna pull it back up here up on the corner. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I hope you guys liked it. Just turning the vehicle off here. So we're back at the dealership. I mean, my overall review is that if you had any experience with the last Mark 6 Jetta, then the Mark 7 Jetta is even better. It's faster, has better handling. I mean, looks pretty sweet as well. I think it's definitely a lot more aggressive looks in terms of body lines and stuff like that. don't know what else to say. It's a great vehicle. I mean, there's not too many competitors with it. If you're looking for a compact sedan, want something that's still efficient, still economical, fits the family, isn't too big, you know, something you can take downtown Toronto and parallel park, and with no issue. But then you also want something that, you know, is a little bit better weekend car, and will do road trips and have a little more fun and drive more aggressively if you're that type of driver and want something that really gives you that extra performance than just a normal, you know, day-to-day A to B car. This is the car for you. It has a huge trunk. It'll fit all the hockey gear. It'll fit all the kids' gear for the weekend. Has the back seat. You can fit car seats in there, no problem. You know, again, I'm 6'7". I can fit in the back seat, no issue. Sit in the front seat, obviously no issue. Very, very comfortable vehicle. And then you combine all these things in terms of performance, specifications, suspension, differential, and engine, transmission, all these things. And it really comes into a really nice performance package into a vehicle that's not expensive by any means. You know, it's definitely at the top range of our Jettas because it has so many more features, but definitely not an expensive car. And then you package that with the new styling of the Jetta, the new MQB platform, the new chassis, as well as all the great new features that you get inside the vehicle in terms of the options, safety, the assist systems, digital cluster, you know, another infotainment system, old touchscreen, beautiful, just super, super nice and well done. And I think it's a true winner. So, of course, we're always going to be a little biased, you know, working for Volkswagen. But to be honest, I owned a Volkswagen, loved it, gained a lot of respect for the brand and the car. And then I actually started working for Volkswagen after. So a lot of times it happens the other way around. You start working for them, you kind of learn to like them. But to be honest, I loved them before I even came here, and then the more training I got, the more information I got in terms of the brand history, their state of mind, what they're doing with their vehicles, and when they design a vehicle. It's not like a lot of other brands. It's not just to, hey, let's make a vehicle look cooler, let's make a vehicle look new so we get more sales, let's make a vehicle XXX, whatever it may be. When Volkswagen goes out and designs a vehicle, it's for a reason. It's to make it better, it's to improve it, because if something's not broken, don't fix it, right? That's kind of their mantra. And we need a replacement. We lost our GLI for a couple of years. Everyone was, you know, waiting for a replacement. We finally got it. It was a bit of a wait, yeah, but I think it's well worth it because they've come up with a very, very good car. They took the Jetta, which is already a great selling car, a great vehicle, you know, to begin with, and then they added all these things on top of it, and it really just comes out as a winner. So, long story short, guys, it's a great vehicle. The number one recommendation I can make is, you know, everyone can talk as much as they want about reviews and how great a vehicle is and make videos and pictures and stuff, just like I'm doing now. But really, at the end of the day, you got to come into the dealership, you got to drive it, you got to get a feel for it, because maybe it's not for you. Maybe you decide that you don't really need something that's this, you know, this high, you know, performance or athletic vehicle. Maybe you want something that's just your A to B, and that's all you need, and that's all you want. But you don't know until you come and drive it, until you get a good feel for the vehicle. So come into the store, ask one of our awesome sales associates for some help, ask for some information, get in the test, get in on a test drive, get in the driver's seat, go for a drive, you know, mess around with the gears, mess around with the controls, really play around with everything and get a feel for the car, because I'm confident that you're going to love it. And if you weren't prepared to buy a car that day, then it's going to be hard to say no and drive home in the car you drove up in, no matter what it is. And I think you'll be thinking about this all night long and the next day and the next week until you come back and purchase one. So that's my point of view. Thanks very much for watching, guys, following along today. It was a lot of fun. Love the vehicle, as I've said probably 20 times this video, but it really is a great vehicle. So guys, it's Evan here, Guelph Volkswagen. Thank you very much again for watching, spending 15-20 minutes with me, and we'll see you again soon. This is the 2019 GLI from Guelph Volkswagen. Thanks, guys.